I watched some movies. Okay, let me see. Let me see here. Let me pop out this chat. Come on now. Damn. Pop out chat. All right, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes. It's been a long while. This is going to be the last stream on this old computer. It served me well for a few years. Let me make sure you guys can hear me good, see me good. I'll be happy if we get 5 people to show up. It's late, last minute. It's super late. I do want to get into this so that way people watching this after it's live or showing up late, that we can get right into the topics and the discussion. If people do happen to show up live, I'll talk to a couple of you. What up, Alex? I do want to talk about 2 movies I've seen recently, and I want to start getting back into, my new computer's coming this week. I'm really excited because for a while I've been dying to do these movie review style called Flaw vs. Awe. That's on a completely different channel. However, I was running into a problem with my old computer not being able to handle it. I did have an i7, but it only had 16 gigs. I could have changed the RAM. I guess my graphics card was only like a 1060. It was solid. It's a solid computer. I did a lot of research. Had I known, and then I did a lot of research, but I did promise the computer to my daughter. So at that point, once I learned, there's a really good chance I could have just upgraded the computer I have. I probably needed a new power supply and then upgraded the graphics card. And then upgraded the RAM to 32 gigabyte. I could have made it work. But long story short, I already promised it to her. I already bought her a new keyboard. Can you see it here? Look at that thing. Look at that thing. It's got the clickety click. Click, pow. Anyhow, long story short, my new PC is going to be a bit of a little mid-grade monster. It'll be here. You guys can hear me good, right? Let me pull up my stats to make sure you can even hear me good. Hear me good, see me good. Oh, wow. This is loud. Oh, and it's echoey as hell because I didn't even finish. I had to take the DVD rack down. I bought a DVD rack from Amazon. Let me know if this is too loud. I bought a DVD rack from Amazon, and that shit was promised like 570 movie capacity. And then I might take the headphones off. I'm just getting hot. 570 like movie capacity, but then when I put it together, it only held a few movies, and I was like, what is going on here? So I checked the box. I should have before I put it together, but it only held like 400 movies. So it was way smaller than what I needed. Sounds fine? All right, thank you very much for giving me that little titty bit of information. So anyway, yeah, so I'm really excited. So the new computer is going to be here, which does mean I'm having a little bit of weird issue with my internet. I'm paying for 1 gigabyte, which equals 1,000 megabytes per second. I probably talked to the absolute dumbest Spectrum customer support today ever. Now, you know what? If they don't give a shit about their job or they're not into like learning about it, then it is what it is. But I called and I was like, yeah, I did a speed test and I'm only getting 6 megabytes per second. Everything is like buffering, right? So I called and they're like, oh, well, just get an expander, like a range expander. And I said, my problem is not Wi-Fi. Forget about Wi-Fi. I'm hardwired to the computer. And you guys are not giving me enough internet. You know what I mean? So long story short, they were telling me that Spectrum doesn't even do 1,000 megabits per second lines. They do 1 gigabyte, which 1 gigabyte is 1,000. And then on top of that, she shuts my internet down and she tells me, I swear, I wish I recorded this phone call. She says, do a speed test now. And I said, you just shut down my internet. How am I going to do, like remotely she shut it down. I'm like, how am I going to do a speed test? I don't have internet. And really like a bitch, she was like, don't you got a cell phone? Like use your cell phone to do a speed test on the internet. And I was like, my cell phone is through a different company, not Spectrum. So how the hell would doing a speed test on mobile data tell me anything about my home internet speed? Like that shit is so idiotic. And there was a pause in the line. And then she turned my internet on and I had to do a speed test. Bro, I was on the phone for like 20 minutes And it was, if you're a customer service person and you piss me off, like, you done fucked up, because I'll wait for food and I'll be extra nice. Like, I get it. When you're working in that field, it's rough. I'm always nice to, servers and food staff and even people who are helping you with customer support, technical support. But everything this person was saying was just wrong or incredibly dumb. And so I end up having to hang up. So I'm still only getting low internet. I'm paying for a gigabyte. I'm only getting like a 100 to 200 megabytes per second. And it's weird because on the phone, she's all like, that's plenty. You don't even need. At first, she tried telling me there was 13 devices connected. Now, keep in mind, these devices are people that we're visiting, that are leaving, that don't even matter in day-to-day use. Like two thermostat one that you barely ever use. Just once in a while, you click like high or low at your thermostat. And she tried telling me that not use so many devices, which is insane if you know anything about get that type of internet. It's made for a lot of lines, like a lot of lines. And then she tries saying some old other shit that just didn't make any sense. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with the... What up, Stain? You miss me? You've been watching Godzilla Minus One. When you go home tomorrow, here it's good. Stain, listen to me. I wanted to talk about Godzilla Minus One and In a Violent Nature. Now, I was really excited about In a Violent Nature, and that bummed me out a bit. So maybe I'll talk about that first, but I'll tell you one thing about Godzilla Minus One real quick before I get into it in a second. I heard how good it was, and I grew up as a kid. I loved Godzilla, right? And I so wanted to see it in theater, and I forget why, but I just couldn't make it. And boy, do I regret that, because Godzilla Minus One for me is probably my all-time, no probably about it, definitively my all-time absolute favorite Godzilla movie. I loved it. There's a couple cringe moments, a little bit of lines of dialogue, like the very last line of dialogue. Like, it's not needed. I mean, they do these story element beats, so there's dialogue and there's some things, and some of it is not needed because it's the message of the movie, but you don't need it in the dialogue. You'll know what I mean when you see it, but I didn't expect it to be as emotional as it was for a Godzilla movie. It was great, but we'll get into Godzilla Minus One, but I just gotta say, I friggin' loved it. Absolutely loved it. And it looks good on Netflix 4K. It looks really good. But back to In a Violent Nature. Now, this, for whatever reason, was only playing in like art house theaters in my area at 10:30 at night. And the Friday booking was sold out. Day one was sold out. And so I got me and my daughter tickets for the nighttime showing Saturday, which was last night. So she's starting to get sick, and I'm like, if you don't want to go, blah, blah, blah. But I booked this I planned on watching this a few months ago. That's when I heard about it. And then I booked the tickets like a month ago. So she was like, nah, we're going. So we go. I spent $30 on like 2 iced teas and a bowl of popcorn. Fucking outrageous. Anyway, the gimmick, and this is what I said I was afraid of. The gimmick is, imagine if you follow Jason Voorhees from the grave to killing the counselors, and it's from his perspective. And my thing was, I love that idea, that concept, for a couple scenes. It would be probably some of the most memorable and epic scenes with like Jason Voorhees or a Jason Voorhees knockoff, which this character is definitely a Jason Voorhees knockoff. Instead of Jason, his name's John, and he has his whole mommy thing. He's on the hunt. Someone steals his mother's necklace. So he's literally just out there to kill people and get back his mother's necklace. Jason was a little deformed, a little slow, kind of sometimes in representations. This guy's a little slow, and there's a scene where they do a great job at that. Anyway, so they make it so for a fan, it's kind of like a Jason Voorhees. Now the mask, the look, it's cool, but it wasn't the coolest thing about it. I wish there was like a cooler mask look, but that's besides the point. The walking was almost unbearable at a certain point. It was so fucking boring, the walking. Oh my God. Now, one thing that annoyed me though is for the sound. He's on gravel, he's on dirt, he's on leaves, he's on sticks, he's on this, he's on that. And the walking was the same, like two sounds: thud, 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 thud. Now, I know for a fact I can open up Zap Splat, I think it's called. I use Zap Splat a lot. They have like badass sound files. You can get a couple crunches of sticks and leaves and it would probably sound better than what you got. No offense, but the walking sound effect was a little like torture. And then the gimmick ran too long. And there was moments where, in indie films especially, they do these long, drawn out shots. Well, holy fucking hell. There's some of them that are so long and so drawn out. I just, at one point in time, me and my daughter are just joking back and forth, like, hurry this shit up. Like, even when the girl at the end, and I think I heard the girl at the end, one of the girls at the end is one of the camp counselors from part 2 or part 3, something like that. I think it was the girl that was hitting on the guy in the wheelchair, if I have that right. Shit like from Friday the 13th. Shit like that I love. Those connective tissue. And I do want there to be a sequel. But like I said, when I first got out of the theater, I told a couple people this, that I never in my life have been so bored with a movie that was almost custom tailored to my tastes. It's such an odd feeling to be so incredibly bored in chunks of the movie that was almost made specifically for you. Like, there's one specifically, like this girl here, like this kill here is epic. It's absolutely ridiculously epic. Can you guys even see that? I'm blocking it, but you can see it right here. This girl here, the yoga chick. I love those practical, I think there was a little bit of special effects. I love that shit. The ridiculous, over the top. This is actually the kill right here in the frame right there. Love it. Friggin' love it. There's a couple kills where it's just brutal. And I mean like brutal. I dig that a lot. The sound, the just even having the sound of nature and being in the woods when they do those slow shots, absolutely great. The problem though is where you want to just like be invested in the movie, but the scenes just keep slowly going. And even in the beginning, you'll hear like people talking and you can't see shit, but like a wood or something, like a barn door. And after like 2 minutes, you're like, oh my God, just show something other than this broken barn window, like a cabin window. That's the type of shit I'm talking about, where it just drones on and on, where it feels like it's progressing forward to give you more visually, and then it stops dead and bores the shit out of you. But then it pans over to like a necklace with a locket, and you see a hand come and grab it. And being a huge Jason Voorhees fan, knowing this is like a Jason Voorhees knockoff or an homage, that's going to be the mother's necklace, and he's going to rise up, and this is it, game on. And you don't even need to be told anything. You just know it, and that's exactly what it is. I love that shit. But you see the human characters later, the victims later. Would it really kill you to pan over and kind of see them a bit talking, and one of them kind of looks over, something's distracting them, and pans slightly back to the left, stop on the locket, and then his hand snatches it? Like, there's so many different times where they could have easily incorporated something a little bit more visually appealing, but instead they just filmed like leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a really disappointing movie. I'm probably gonna buy it and watch it a few more times and analyze it, especially for like a future Flaw vs. All or some type of video. I don't know, because it'll be a quick Flaw vs. All. There's a lot of boring shit that's just gonna get skipped. But if you're a huge Jason Voorhees fan, it's worth a watch, because the promising moments in a violent nature are awesome. And if you can take that out as a concentrate and add some like more awesome characters that we actually care about and incorporate them together, you have something that could continue. I hope this does, and I hope I hope the guy who made it, Chris Nash, isn't like, everyone's wrong, I'm right. I hope he realizes it'll be far better if they upgrade it. Take what worked, trim the fat, add some new spices, and come out with like a sequel, and it could be as successful as Terrifier 2, for example. That came out, fans wanted more. They changed some of the horrible acting. They tweaked some things that, added some lore. And Terrifier as a brand is just getting stronger and stronger. This could get stronger and stronger. In a Violent Nature might not be the best title to go with, but that doesn't matter. Let me see the chat real quick, and then I could jump over to Godzilla. And for anyone who's just showing up, my new computer is going to be here any day now. I'm going to get my old computer. I'm going to pull all my files off the SSD. I already run off of, I already have my hard drives disconnected from it, from my editing files, but then I'm going to get it set up in my daughter's room. I'm going to, reset it and get her all set up, come back to my office, get my shit all set up. And then hopefully within another week or two, we're going to get back into the swing of things with a computer that can actually handle the Flaw editing that I needed, because it was so difficult trying to edit a Flaw and it's stuttering, especially when you're deep into a 30-minute or 20-minute. You got thousands and thousands of edits, and the preview window will just not play. Like, it is difficult because then you miss a lot of mistakes. Edits that are too long or too short, and they have little blips of images. If you ever watch some of my old edits, you'll see these little blips where my cut wasn't perfect or good enough. And that's why, because the preview window is choppy. It's going like 5 frames a minute, Anyhow, so I'm excited. And you know what that means? The PC can actually run, my new PC can actually run video games as well on great, on easily 1080p 60 frames without even trying. You know what I'm saying? So there's a real good chance I can actually do some game streams again. But this is great. I mean, it's a slow process, but for me, this is all positive progression. Anyhow, let me see what the chat says. Miss your content. Thank you very much, Stain. I already got that one. Super Videos Entertainment. Hey, Ronnie, you have to listen to the new Eminem. I listened to that last night, actually. Houdini. If you haven't, it's gold. Slim Shady came back to get Eminem canceled in 2024. I listened to it. I have to listen to more of it. I think I heard one line where he said, like, RuPaul's as big as RuPaul's balls or some shit like that. That line was like, okay, that was fire. But you know what sucks, though, is like in this day and age, like Eminem started becoming like a little bitch, to be honest. And it's fucking refreshing hearing that he's like coming out being like, I'm just going to make fun of everyone. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And you need that in a way to just kind of re-shock pop culture, or just us, as a collective community, to shock us, to be like, okay, listen, we can disagree on shit. We don't have to be like sworn enemies, because that's what it's coming to now, where anyone disagrees about anything, we're sworn enemies and we can never get along ever in the history of anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't run a country like that. You can't have communities like that. You can't have anything like that that's going to run fluid and smooth and yada yada. Plus, it's illogical as fuck, People can disagree on politicians, on actors, on movies, on this and that, and you can still get along. There's offshoots where they're the extremists, and there's offshoots that are just genuinely bad people. Those are the small percentages of the community. The rest of us, we can all get through this, and you need Eminem in a way, or people like Eminem in a way, to mix it up so we just stop taking everything so fucking serious. You know what I'm saying? It's just, anyway, I'm going to listen to more of it, again, maybe with the lyrics on the screen, so that way I could just... You love the shirt? Oh, I dig this shirt. I got my little Jaws shirt rocking with some skulls here. I was gonna watch it at cinema too, but didn't end up happening at one. Spoilers. We're gonna be back to sleep. Don't want. Oh, I'm not doing spoilers for Godzilla or In a Violent Nature. If you happen to be still watching, I mean, if I say anything that sounds like a spoiler, it's from the trailer, and that's it. Eminem's new song is awesome. Drove 97K to see it in theaters back. That's what's up. I think some of the walking can be justified by the way the sound was designed. A lot of the entertainment I got from it was listening for sounds that Johnny would pick up on. And yeah, that's absolutely probably little parts that I did like. And it isn't just like, okay, he's walking a lot, so it's boring. And when it has to do with what you have in the shot visually, how it's framed, how the movement goes, the pacing it's going. Like, and that's what I mean by it being tailored for me. Taking those moments and having him look over, hear something, they're arguing, and then they throw keys in and the keys land down and he goes back around. There's some of those moments where it is really working, but there's those over the dose moment, over the top, it's overdosing on it. If you would just simply trim those, I personally feel you would have a far more successful and a far better film, you know. And that's not to say all the walking, all the slow pan moments are bad. There's just a certain percentage of them, like a 10% here that needs to be trimmed, a 30 seconds here that's just you annoying visually because the flow of what's being presented is making you intrigued on this one thing, but you're just keeping it off screen. Every time we're hearing people off screen, just give us, even if it's like a blurry visual taste of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And they do that in the movie. And that's what why I personally think I highlight it more as a con, because people say it's about the perspective of following Jason. We sit down with these kids at a campfire. Yes, he's there off in the distance, but it's not always in his perspective. Is it in his perspective, you know, in that general area? Absolutely. But if they can break away from him, we're not with him looking at them at the campfire. We're with the kids looking out at him at the campfire. If you could break the perspective there, you could do it other points too, you know? And I think it would benefit the movie greater. Ronnie, seriously, rock. Thank you very much, Richard. At times, it was more entertaining to listen to than watch. Like an ASMR nature slasher. I'd rather see In a Violent Nature 2, same thing, but it's Ronnie in the Chucky onesie. Bro, how fucking wild would that be? That'd be awesome. Only if I die horrifically, though. You know? Like, instead of pulling my head through my guts, pull my head through my ass, you know? Reverse style. I'd rather see... Okay, I already watched that. Why wouldn't they make a remaster of Bloodborne? I can't play games under 60 frames per second anymore. Listen, I'm a bit of a 60 frame snob my damn self. Like, 60 frames is almost perfect. I understand why you would want and need more competitively, or even just to have fun on some online shooters and things to have like ultra quick like reflexes and respawn, or even just for the visual crispness of it for those high-paced games. I can understand that. But for me personally, bro, if I'm rocking, and that's why I want something that's going to give me maybe 120, but at the worst, when it drops, it doesn't go below 60. You get what I'm saying? For me, that's good. You know, Days Gone, 60 frames a second. Ghost of Tsushima, 60 frames a second. Like, I'm looking forward to some of these games. 60 frames being like the bare minimum. And the new rig I got, as long as it shows up fine, I hope so, I'm going to be crushing those. Now, I made a mistake with my CPU. I was tired as hell. I was working, and I was like, that's it. I'm picking my rig. Now, I was going to build one, and it gets frustrating talking with computers because some people can be snobs when it comes to computers. I was going to build one, but I decided to go with pre-built, and I matched my specs to the absolute best, but I made a mistake. When I went to get the CPU, I went with an Intel i9. When I went to, and the reason being is I'm leaning more towards video editing than gaming. Don't forget, because I could have went with the AMD for gaming. I fully understand that, but I'm leaning more towards video editing. So I went with the i9, and I'm well aware the Intel is going to be very harder to upgrade because of the chipset and all that coming up. I'm very aware of that. I'm almost definitely not upgrading anything. I had my computer here, which is an i7, but, you know, lower specs on the rest of it. I had this computer for like 8 years now, 9 years, and I never tweaked anything on it. Now, moving forward, now that I'm reading more about them, I'm definitely going to make tweaks. Like my 32 gigabytes of RAM, I'm going to bump that up to 64 most likely. I only need 32 right now, though, or at least I'm thinking I only need 32. I'll see how it feels. Everyone keeps saying you just need 32. But anyway, so I went with the i9, Intel i9 14900. Is that right? 14900. Now, I was a little nervous about that just because of how hot it gets, but I got liquid cooling, so I'm hoping that'll help. And here's where I fucked up, though. I was supposed to get the one that's just for 14900. 14900. Yeah, 14900. However the fuck you say that. Anyway, and I got the KF, which means you can't overclock it, which isn't going to affect me much at all. But you can only use the graphics card, which means you can't use like if anything goes wrong with your computer, you are able to unplug the graphics card and plug it into the CPU. So then you can troubleshoot and see what's wrong with your computer. Now that has me worried because if anything goes wrong with my computer, I'm very confident I can at least troubleshoot to get an idea of what's wrong with it. However, I fucked up, so now I'm not able to do that. So if anything does go wrong, I honestly am not sure how to troubleshoot that without being able to switch it and go into the BIOS with whatever. Anyway, so I got the 32 gigabytes of RAM, the i9, the Intel i9. I think it's like 14th generation 14900 KF. The NVIDIA RTX 4070 Ti Super, which I heard is fantastic. I purposely paid it like I think $100 more to avoid the 4060 because I heard the 4060 is just no good all around. Anyway, what else did I get? The motherboard is a decent one. I looked up all the parts separately. The motherboard had high ratings. It's like what is it? It's like an A970 or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is only for people who are into the, computer shit, and I'm only like into it just for what I need to know. If it's not for that, I don't care to learn anything about computers. I just want to know how to operate them. Like if I had a computer guy, I would not learn anything about computers. I don't find it interesting. I think it would be awesome one day to build my own computer. It's like a puzzle, it's like building it's like building a Lego that can actually be utilized as like a tool. I think the idea sounds cool, and I'm very much like hands-on. I'm a maintenance guy. I've been fixing shit, my whole life, even on different jobs. So like, I'm just good with my hands and troubleshooting shit. So I think that would be fun. But anyway, where are we at? Oh, and then why won't they remaster Bloodborne? I don't know, but they should. They really should. Did you listen to Drake and Kendrick rap battle? I have not, no. Dwighty Boy says that background is atmospheric as fuck. I love this background. Now, I keep talking about it. It's not done yet. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to do the rest. Now, my original design was... I might as well just pay someone to do it. But my original design, if you could look at like the Dead Meat YouTube channel, that's probably when I first saw that, it was like they went into my brain and like, pulled it out of me and just created like the perfect. It's not quite, but if you look at their backdrop, how they have, I shouldn't really say that though, because like it's not quite like that, but you get the idea. There's a backdrop on the wall. And then you have actual real shelving that goes on the side and that comes up. And it was supposed to have like broken wood. So it was supposed to look like a cabin. So a cabin in the woods somewhere, like imagine like Jason Voorhees' cabin in the woods. And then in the cabin would be the collectibles. So just scattered about, Jason's mask. If you look at Dead Meat's backdrop, imagine like a cabin in the woods in the backdrop. They have a really cool one. It kind of has that cabin in the woods vibe, but it's more like an artsy background. I think it's like purple and glowy. I wanted like legit woods, but that's the idea. I think I might just build it, but I honestly don't think it matters in the very beginning when I'm doing the videos. Even if I have a little like just a regular bookshelf here and here, I don't think people will mind. Anyway, but I want to do something cool. I love this idea for a backdrop like that. I like having like scenery and then but blended into like something that's actual shelving 3D something, you know. G-Spot, do you have an old PS4, bro? Who has an old PS4? I started watching Fallout, and someone who hasn't played the game, I'm digging it. Have 2 episodes left. Well, that's what's up. I think you can enjoy Fallout without playing the game for sure. I think they got the idea of following the killer from Halloween 2018. Remember? I know the scene you're talking about when he arrives in Haddonfield, and he's looking around and they're trick-or-treating, and then he looks over and he goes down the alleyway to the back of the house. And then he goes like in the house, gets a knife and like, or a hammer and like hammers a bitch, takes the knife and then walks back out and around. You're talking about that scene. It very well could be inspiration to do that. And I think more slashers need to do that. That's such an awesome idea. And imagine like even, it's difficult talking about it because you might not visualize what I'm visualizing. So it might not sound as cool, but trust me, it's cool. But imagine like you're watching Ghostface. But now you're seeing Ghostface from the perspective of him stalking Casey Becker. Not that, but the new victim. But imagine like when Casey died in the very beginning. But now we can see what that was like from Ghostface's perspective. So we're following him around. He's on the phone and then how he orchestrates it. I think that would be so fucking cool. And you can even... you could do so much more than just regurgitating what we've already got from these slashers. Now, some of the Scream movies have started to do it where they have like the killer in the beginning get killed by the new killer. Cool, you know? But I think there's way more you can do. And I think the tracking with the killer, the slasher, is a cool... It's been done before. It's been done all the way in the 70s. However, I think this is like the time where you can do very effective stalking shots. Damn, I beat this thing up. I'm a computer programmer for my day job, so I can help you if you have any computer-related questions. Well, someone told me they were going to send a graphics card, and I warned them. They said they sent me a message on Twitter. I checked Twitter. I couldn't find the message, even in my, like, do you know these people spam folder. If they're still willing, I already warned them once. If you do send anything like that, I'm giving it to my daughter for her computer. I already got a 4070. Speaking of which, I threw like $500 in the pot from you guys, from your tips over the last few months. So anyone who's tipped over the last couple months, I appreciate it. I threw 500 down from you guys. That was definitely your support going into the pot, which is definitely needed because I'm probably going to upgrade the mic. I might just give the mic to my daughter too. This is just like the Blue Yeti. I don't know if I have to, but I'm giving her this monitor because she doesn't have a monitor. So she's getting the BenQ monitor. And I think I'm just going to get a cheaper, more affordable widescreen. And I'm going with that. You guys can let me know. Do you have any monitors that you recommend? Now, keep in mind, gaming is fucking awesome. But my focus is video editing. So I have a 1440p that I use as my main editor now for my tracks. But I do want a widescreen so I can do even more. If you're not familiar with editing, just trust me, widescreen is very useful for multiple different applications. But if you want to see how it's useful, look it up. There's videos of people showcasing how they can utilize the widescreen. But if you have other ideas that are more beneficial, definitely let me know. And resolution is important. Like when I had a 1080p monitor and I decided to get a dual monitor, so I bought a 1440p because I wanted to see what a bigger monitor would look like for gaming, actually. But when it showed up and I started using it, the amount of what's a good way to put it? The picture quality is very different. Not picture quality. What it displays is very different. Like the amount of information I can display on my 1440p is far different. And I don't mean like, of course, Ronnie, it's got more pixels, so the picture's better. I don't mean that. When I put my editor on this TV that's 1080, I cannot see as much of the detail as when I put it on this. I have more tracks, more options. There's more information there. It's cleaner, it's crisper. So that's when I was like, okay, I need to get something that can do like 1440, maybe a widescreen, but I'm leaning to the video editing aspect of it. So if you have any suggestions, just keep that in mind. Gaming is awesome, but I'm leaning towards video editing. There's a 60 FPS mod for Bloodborne. Needs to be firmware 11 or below. That's what's up. You're a Super Videos Entertainment. You're a computer programmer for your day job. So, but yeah, back to your comment. I'm willing for any and all suggestions. Absolutely. I just told you the specs I got. If you have any suggestions for the monitor, would be the next thing. In like the next paycheck I get, I'm probably gonna do the monitor. So, and I'm not looking, please don't send me like $700 suggestions. You probably won't, but anyone out there, because I've gotten that a lot before where people are like, bro, get the Odyssey widescreen, 49 inches, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I'm not spending $1,200 for a monitor. Like, I appreciate you think I got it like that, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a single parent. Trust me. Trust and believe. Don't listen to Google. Google will tell you I'm worth like $2-3 million. You know what I'm saying? That's not even close to being accurate. Fuck all that shit. Like, no. I'm getting a budget ass monitor just like y'all. You know? Fucking, I don't even want to spend, I probably sound like an ass. I don't even want to spend like $200. And I know people are going to be like, oh, if you want a good monitor, you're going to have to spend. But, let me find something on sale. Okay? Let me get a deal. I seen a real good monitor that was $200 though. I was gonna get it, but I thought let me wait and see what people say. Computer talk is car talk for nerds. I agree with that. See, I'm in the sum of it just to comprehend what I need to get the job done. But outside of, like if I wasn't into content creation, but I was like really into gaming, I'd probably keep up with a good amount of the stuff you would need for what goes in a gaming rig. But I'll be honest, if I'm not video editing, I'm not going to look up anything that has to do with computer stuff. I just don't, I don't hate it, but I just don't want to get into it. It's just a lot, you know? Oh yeah. Omari Daniel says you heard Godzilla -1 isn't getting a physical release. Let me put the comments up here so I can not keep jerking my fucking head around. So I heard it's not getting a steelbook, but it's probably getting a physical release in the US. But just not a steelbook. That's what I heard. Now, I don't have secret inside sources on it, but I really did you see the steelbook? Hold on, I gotta just show you the steelbook. The steelbook is fucking, oh my god. You know, if there was a time, and I refuse to buy stuff that's like overpriced. If there was a time where I would just buy an overpriced item, this steelbook is like, it has me second guessing. I'm not gonna do it because I have a hard stance on overpaying for shit. Like this steelbook, $30, okay, done. I'll buy the movie 4K steelbook. I'm good. You know, $30 is like, yeah, it's a bit much, but I'll have the movie for the rest of my life. I don't need anything higher than 4K. And the artwork is amazing. Oh my god, my dumb face is covering it up. Let me do this. So look at this steelbook. Look at this shit. You got this. I love this picture here with the boat in the water and the Godzilla with his glowing eyes here and the sun in the background. Holy shit, that's so cool looking, man. That is fucking awesome. Is there a bigger one? Yeah, look at, oh, that's a bad one. Let me see. Some of these are fucking awesome, but yeah, this steelbook, this is the front. Look how cool that is. Is there a back version? Like this guy wants 75 bucks. Yeah, here's the back of it. Oh man, that is cool. Open image, new tab. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that is so cool. However, I can't justify that. So I'm gonna wait. And if we get lucky, see, I waited on Oppenheimer. A lot of people, Oppenheimer sold out. Now, here's my philosophy. If you wait long enough, when the hype dies down, you have a very good chance of getting a hold of almost anything. Not everything, but almost anything. So I waited and I waited. Sure enough, Oppenheimer got re-released, and I was able to snatch a re-release. And then others waited even longer and they re-released it again. So they were able. Now that doesn't happen all the time. That's kind of rare too for like that many. But even when it comes to stuff that sells out, goes high, you wait until the hype plummets. Then people sit on it for so long that they finally are like, okay, I got to get rid of this shit. And you end up getting it for what you wanted it for. But that steelbook is fucking fire. Anyway, I use Samsung 32 FHD 75 hertz 4 mega milliseconds. Is that right? GTG Curve VA LG FreeSync gaming monitor, which is great for editing. My only concern would be, well, no, FHD is 1440, right? Isn't it? HD is 1080. FHD is 1440 and UHD is 4K. I think that's right? And 75 hertz, to be honest, I wouldn't mind having 120 hertz just to be able to future-proof if I play, 120 hertz video games. But I'll be real with you. The TV I was looking at was a widescreen 100 hertz. And I think it was an LG. And even at 100 hertz, I only need the 60. You know what I'm saying? For like PS5 and any video games I play, like Days Gone, Last of Us. I'm giving you examples of anything I might play in a computer that's higher, more demanding. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm good with 60 hertz. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you could play them at like in between, right? Like you can't play it on 90 hertz. Does it work like that? It's either like 30, 60, 120, 240, right? You can't play like a 90, 73. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it'll fluctuate, but you can't just pick a random. Am I thinking about that right? Anyway, so that's where my mind is at. Googled FHD and it says 1080p. See, I was under maybe I have that wrong. Yeah, UHD is definitely 4K. Let me look this up. How do those keys sound? Let me see. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see my daughter's new computer? She fucking loves it, yo. Look at that shiny thing. And then when you touch it, let me see. Let me put it in the chat. And then when you touch the keyboard, look. I think I might get one for myself that's it's hard to see, but when you touch it, yeah, it's weird. Is it flickering for you guys? Because it's actually in real life, it's not flickering. It's only flickering in the camera. But when you touch it, it like does like a whom in the lights around where you touch it. She friggin' loves it. It's pink. And it has the old school typewriter buttons, and she wants that mechanical sound. Oh, she loves it. I'm happy that she loves it though. So, because I did a lot of research. She told me she wanted something that had that nice mechanical sound, not annoying but real slick. I looked at reviews. I tried to find something on Amazon that had like high reviews. She wanted pink. She wanted it to light up, but wasn't really picky about it being different colors as long as it lit up. Anyhow, I might actually get the same one and get it black, you know, UHD. So UHD stands for ultra high definition, a term used in television and consumer electronics industry to describe higher quality video than HD. All right, so I guess it is loose. They're using it as higher than HD. Full definition, full HD is the resolution at 1920 1080. I might have that wrong. Ultra is 3840 2160. Yeah, I think I had that wrong. I think the UHD I had right. That's 4K, but the FHD is full HD. So what's 14? I know there was a list. It flickers on your screen. QHD. So FHD, QHD, and UHD. Is that it? Okay, so I did have it wrong. I knew it was something like that though, because I just read about. I don't know if it's my mouse, but something ain't working. All right, it doesn't matter. So we got that squared away. Yeah, that, you know what? I think I remember now that is right. The FHD is full high def. It's got that flicker. What I love in Godzilla -1 is in real life, if you saw a monster that big, like, you wouldn't say, oh my God, look at that. No, your brain wouldn't be able to process it. And it feels like the character showed that. I think they did a good amount. And you know what's fucking great for me personally as a fan of it? I never care, probably a lot like you guys, about the human characters, especially the one where Bryan Cranston was in that one. I was so excited for him. This was like right in the peak of like Breaking Bad ending, if I remember right, or close to it, or roundabout there. And I remember being hyped as hell. And every time Godzilla would do something cool, they would cut it to the human characters. In an interview later, the director was like, yeah, well, we wanted to tease him and then pull back, tease him and pull back. So by the time you saw him at the end, you were like super excited. And I'm thinking like, bro, that does not work like that. When we're into it and you pull it away, it's just like teasing us. Like, here, you can have something that it looks amazing. Nope, you don't get to see it anymore. So, you went with a 360 hertz monitor. You are crazy. Do you need that for anything? Let's be real. There's a steelbook cover of its spine that lines up with the Shin Godzilla's steelbook cover. If they're side by side, that's fucking cool. Godzilla PS4 game goes for $300 these days, and apparently it sucks. I'll never understand that. Why gamers do that? Like, I had, before retro games started getting super popular, I was actually going around buying retro games just to play. We found an old GameCube at like a Salvation Army. Me and my daughter's mother or ex-girlfriend, one or the other, I forget now, but we found an old GameCube. So, I would go hustling or working or something. I would come home, we'd have dinner, I'd play a little GameCube, and I would go to the pawn shop that was like a video game pawn shop. And, I came real cool with the dudes. So I every other day I'd be like, what do you got new for, GameCube games? And I picked the GameCube because I didn't have one growing up. I had Sega Genesis, Nintendo. I didn't even have Super Nintendo. My cousin did, but I didn't get that till much later. But PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, blah, blah, blah. And there would be like people buying shit they didn't even like just to complete like collections. And I understand the want to do like a collection, but I cannot fathom buying a game you don't like or don't want or don't use or don't need just to have a complete video game collect. I just can't fathom. And I understand there's gamers out there who are like really into the whole setup. I don't know. I guess in a little ways I can see, you know, I don't know. For me, maybe if it was like you found it at the thrift store and it was $5, it's like, okay, whatever. But if it's a game you don't even like or don't want and it's a ton of money, I don't know. Anyway, I can't get it. Look up Asus monitors if you want to keep things on budget. Most of them could go up for 200 frames per second. They have built-in speakers, nice coverage. I got an Asus Tough for 200 on sale. They got any widescreen? No. I still want to hold out hope for widescreen, especially for screen real estate for my video editing. But I'm aware of Asus. I'll have to check those out because I know they're a pretty strong gaming company. I think my motherboard might be an Asus. Let me see. Did I write it down? I don't know if I did. I have to look. Still recommend IPS over just for viewing angles. Best zombie game to play that isn't Last of Us or Days Gone? Oh, I don't have one off the top of my head. Let me think. And that's what I mean by the outrageous idea that we're flooded with zombie games. We just don't have a ton of great zombie games. And I'm not into some of the MMO ones. I'll just be blunt, honest. I think they're a waste of time, you know. I might try something. I'll look something up and try it in the future when I get my better computer, but oh, they do have some widescreen. I'll take a look at some. Let me see if you were to ask the internet. There's got to be a list somewhere. Top 10 best zombie games. What do you think they'd say? You know what? They're going to say Resident Evil and shit from like back in the day. And I just don't agree with that at all. I mean, back in the 90s, Resident Evil was fucking incredible. But we're not back in the 90s. We're in 2024. No one wants to play that shit. Resident Evil Village, I'll throw that on the list. Definitely play that. Now, Dead Island 2, I had a lot of fun with it. However, I just don't put it on the list as a, let me see how you worded that. Best zombie game to play. I would say if you're in for the cheap feeling, it does feel cheap, first person shooter type. I had a lot of fun with Dead Island 2. I got to give it props, man. Like, I did enjoy it. I had fun. I like the gore system. I just prefer more grounded and gritty, like exploring third person angle. Last of Us and Days Gone are the top two in my book. Last of Us 1 and Days Gone. Last of Us 2 for the gameplay. Story sucks. But I'll throw an honorable mention for Dead Island 2, not 1. I thought 1 was trash. And Dying Light is a repetitive mess, in my opinion. Dead Rising, no. Resident Evil 2, no. Old. Project Zomboid, no. Left 4 Dead 2, old. Resident Evil 4. The remake was good. I'll put Resident Evil 4, the remake. That's worth it. That's definitely on the list. Still not as comprehensive as what I would like for, best zombie video game, but it's on the list. I had a lot of fun with that one, though. Yeah, like, look at this list we got here. This is terrible. Is there any others? What's the best top 10 best modern? Top 10 best modern zombie games. Dying Light, Left 4 Dead, Plants vs. Project Zomboid. The list is terrible, man. What's wrong with my fucking mouse? What do you guys have to say about this? Am I just being a stingy bitch? Best zombie games. Resident Evil 2, Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War, Back 4 Blood, Project Zomboid. Jesus. State of Decay 2, Killing Floor 2. I'm not sure about that. Killing Floor 2. I don't know anything about that one. Left 4 Dead 2. What year did that come out? Oh, 2009, bro. Listen, you can love it. That's my thing, though. Is like, I love some of the older games too, but I'm thinking in my head more modern. Like, I don't want to play a game from 2009. Like, I just don't. Maybe every now and again I do, but when we're talking about modern day, Undead Nightmare, I had a blast back in the day, but I don't want to play that nowadays. It's old. And I don't know if the commenter is mentioning like it could be old, it could be retro, it could be whatever, but in my mind I'm thinking like modern. What's awesome modern? Like, I don't want to play some shit from 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Which is weird because Last of Us is from 13 years ago, but the remake is only a couple years old, so got you there. Just kidding. What's up, Justin? Recently played Last of Us Remake. It's awesome. Oh, the remake is incredible. Resident Evil Village doesn't have a single zombie. It's fantasy crap. That is true. That's one of my gripes. It doesn't. I mean, technically, it has those little zombies in it. In the dungeons, that's as good as it gets for close to zombie, but I'll agree. However, I buckle a little and put it on the list just because it's you know, I mean, as close as we get nowadays with zombie stuff. We're flooded, but there's very little to actually play. Last of Us 1 Remake remains the best zombie game for me, and it's not even exactly zombies. I think, well, that's another thing. I mean, we could get into the technical aspect of it. Yes, do I want a classic zombie, a modern classic zombie game? That would be fucking amazing, you know? I would love that so fucking much. However, we got to stick with we don't have to, but I'm sticking with the parameters of what's as close as we get to zombie / infected, / close enough. So for me, I call them zombies. They're definitely not, but they're zombie-like. You see the new Planet of the Apes movie? I did not. I want to see it, but I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters, though. I think I'm just going to buy it when it comes out and add it to they'll have a steelbook, and I'll just add it to the collection. I'm really hoping they do something cool, because I actually have the Caesar bust, the head of Caesar, and I love that little collector's item. I hope they do something similar, because I just love that thing. It was cheap at the time. It comes with a movie. It comes with room to put like multiple, like the whole trilogy. It's just a cool piece to put on the shelf. And you got Caesar, and I got a little NECA figure of Caesar, and they look so cool together. I hope they do something like that. I do know the body cam Wave Wonder. It's releasing June 2nd. It is releasing. I know the body cam. I honestly thought that was going to get delayed and not come out, because the body cam looks amazing. Let me make sure it's the same one. This is the one that looks like ultra realistic, police or SWAT or somebody entering, let me just look it up, make sure. But, oh, you know what? My computer is going to be good enough to actually be able to play that. I'm hyped about that shit, yo. Body cam. Body cam on Steam. Let me do gameplay. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm actually hyped about that. So this is the ultra realistic. I'll put it over here so you guys can see too.
Vraiment, ouais, je suis impressionné de toutes les conneries qui se passent dans ce jeu.
I don't know whose channel this is, so I thought it was actually a gameplay montage or whatever. This is not right now. No, this is not at all what I was thinking of. Never mind. This is not at all what I was thinking of. This is not the same one. Now, this would be cool already, like doing something like this with zombies. I'm gonna fall back to my I prefer third person all the way. From this point on, anything with zombies has, and that's only because third person has a cleaner what's a way to put it, where the bodies and movement in third person are just superior in my opinion. But it would be awesome to have at least a cool zombie game, like a real zombie game with this style, without having the names in the internet looking like letters. Like, make it ultra realistic. So let me go back here and see, because this is actually not the game I was thinking of. The one I was thinking of looked like real life. Oh wait, where's the sound?
Oh les bâtards, y'en a un. Campat de spawn. Attends.
C'est moi. Oh, sorry. I
See-
didn't see you saying. I didn't see you. I'm sorry.
Y'a un mec notre escalier.
Yeah, this would, I'm not going to watch much more of this, but this would still be cool to have zombies and other creatures in it. I would definitely be down for a game like that. The more the merrier, in all honesty. Days Gone is good. I platinumed it. Hordes are fun as hell. Sad Sony apparently dropped the IP. I hope they don't leave it for good, but that sucks. Just started playing Days Gone yesterday. It has been a long while, and I'm having a blast. Yeah. Oh man, I love Days Gone. Days Gone is good at playing them. I looked up body can't get playing. Imagine fighting against zombies. Village doesn't focus on lichens. Yeah, Village is vampires and werewolves mostly, almost all of it. Well, they could be vampires with wings. What I'm trying to get at is they have that. When you go in and wait, they have wings? I'm talking about the guys with little sacks on their head. Let me pull them up because I don't remember wings. I'm talking about the ones with the sacks on their heads that are all like, they're like the only thing that's close enough to zombies. But again, if we're talking about like true zombies, then no, they're not zombies. I don't know. I don't know why we're getting so anal about it, but the whole idea, maybe my context is not coming through. The context was, not does this fall definitively in, you know what I mean, the rigid structure of the definition of a zombie on paper. It's, does this feel anything like playing and killing against zombie or zombie-like characters in a video game in the slightest, you know? Only because based on the fact we have so little real zombie content out there, we're like stretching to grab anything and everything we possibly can. Was that clear maybe? Enemy type. I swear there was guys with like bag heads that were like the only thing in the game I remember that was close to zombie feeling in a game. Let me make sure I word it right. Where are these guys at? No. Yeah, maybe this guy. Yeah, these guys are it. It's a bad picture. Here's another one. This is a better picture. Well, he's got a little thing on his head. Is that Resident Evil Village? Okay. Yeah, here's a bad picture. Here's this guy with that thing on his head. It's a bad picture, but Here's another one. These are the guys I'm talking about. This is the only thing that you could possibly have any fun with that feels zombie-like. Everything else is definitely vampire, definitely werewolf, and it feels definitely that. Is there anyone else? I think that's probably it. Outside of that, you're out of luck. And Resident Evil's only being brought up because it's, Origins is supposed to be in the zombie genre, although it's not. It deviated to my immense displeasure, dissatisfaction. Just bought Resident Evil 8. Can't get past the first main part. Laugh out loud. Just gave up. Resident Evil 8. First part would be... Oh, wait a minute. I think the first part does have some stupid little outer room, and it's kind of stupid. Isn't that where right after that you get like locked into the horde of enemies attacking you in the room? I'm not sure what part you got stuck on, but if it's somewhere around there, I remember being unsure about going which way, and it was something stupid. Yeah, I played it with my 12-year-old. There's a bunch of new footage of the body cam game. I'm hoping that was old. Did I share the screen? Did you guys see it? It would be cool having a VR Walking Dead game like Saints and Sinners. I said that backwards. That you play by having a AAA studio and details Last of Us 2. So much potential there. A VR Walking Dead game, especially with the slow zombies, fits perfect. I don't know why they don't capitalize on that, especially I thought it was Saints and Sinners, or is it Sinners and Saints? It might be Sinners and Saints, but either or. I thought that was a promising... I had fun with that, definitely. Especially more fun than the other one. Gun placement and player control. You can also see what's around better in third person, and it makes up for not being able to turn your head, kind of. Yeah, I can see that. Do you enjoy Guilty Verdict? Reflects his character. I haven't watched any of it. I haven't watched any of it to even give an opinion, to be honest. We'll have to pause that for now until I give you an opinion, or until I have a more accurate opinion to give you. Hope GTA is 6 Undead Nightmare. I would love for some Undead Nightmare stuff, but they should just make it a separate game at this point. Give us some solid substance. I don't remember them flying away. Yeah, Stain. I don't know. Maybe I'm not wording it right, but yes, they're not zombies. Everyone henceforth, from now until forever, the vampires are not zombies. I think the game we talked about is Unrecord, official gameplay trailer. That might be it. Let me look that one up, because that one looks amazing. And I'll be honest, what I do nowadays is I'll see something and I'll be like, that looks incredible, and I'll just forget about it until it's really actually coming out. Because there's so many times where I see something that looks so fucking cool and it just never comes out. You never hear about it again, or it comes out and it's a fraud like that. What was that? The Days Before? No. Whatever that scam one was, where it was supposed to be like this open world Last of Us MMO that was just trash. The Day Before or something like that. I don't know. What's this one though? Unrecord. Videos. I think something's wrong with my mouse, genuinely, because the mouse is acting like a bitch. Body cam, Unrecord. Blah, blah, blah. Do we have any new footage of Unrecord? Yeah, this is the one I was thinking about. This is fucking insane. But I don't know anything about it. But I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's coming out. Now, tomorrow, next year. I don't have any faith in anything anymore. Let me make myself a little smaller. Having this as a zombie game would be incredible.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Damn. Yeah, having this as a zombie game would be amazing. But this almost looks like... I don't know. Something about this looks like it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they took like actual stuff and ran it through some sort of thing to make it look like a video game. It's like that good. Does anyone know anything about this game? Because I personally think it's bullshit. Just like this game was ill. Oh, what the fuck am I hitting? Oh. Ill gameplay from a year. Does anyone know anything about this shit either? Like, I was looking forward to this. Let me do a new filter here. Playlist this year. Anything ill new exclusive gameplay? Is there anything about this game? The Day Before 2.0. Is ill a scam horror game? Oh God. Please don't be true. Well, I don't have any faith in it anyway. Why is Twitter still Twitter? Shouldn't it be X? See that? Twitter. This one, like, I just want this to be real, man. Wait, what was that? Why is he glitching like a bitch? I don't remember this. I don't think I watched this one. Yeah, I didn't see this one. I'm not impressed with this part. What the fuck? Why would you even put that out? I'm so confused right now. This can't be real. Did someone make a joke video? Alright, so here's the ill. This shit looks incredible. I don't know what the hell that is, but man, that's creepy. Oh shit. And the bell. A little bell. Oh fuck. Oh, you dead, motherfucker, you dead. It's so weird. I don't know what it is, man. It's just weird. I think a game time was on record. You think a game on record? Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Code Veronica are getting remakes, so at least there's some hope. Well, they're going to be the Resident Evil box, though. Which, again, I enjoy those games, but it still doesn't have that free-moving, enjoyable gameplay that I'm looking for. Damn, he got fucked up. The Day After? Is that what it was called? We're gonna have zombie DLC before Rockstar realized how much they banked they could make with online. I'm stuck in the attacking you in the room part. Apparently you have to keep going to cutscene. Yeah, that one, yeah, you really gotta keep going. And it's easy to die there, but that was a straight up scam. Yeah, it definitely was. So would you say the unrecord's cool factor outweighs the fact that it's in first person to you? Well, yeah. See, my thing is my high preference is the third person. But if you come out with a really cool, competent, fun to play first person, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it's not third person, so forget about it. I would prefer it to be in third person. But if it's great and it's in first person, I'll still play it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I rest. I'm going to shut this off, though, because you guys already... Oh, wait, no. Does anyone know anything about this? Where's the one where... Yeah, like this stuff looks awesome in here. Wait, where's it at? Oh. I think it's this one. Yeah, this is awesome. Give me 20 hours of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even need an in-depth story. Something easy and simple. You know, do like little puzzles along the way, keep it progressing, and just blow the hell out of the undead. Any way, shape, or form of the undead. Ill and Unrecorded are indie projects, but yeah, starting to look like they're a scam or never coming out. Fuck, man. So that's not all ill stuff. That's just a bunch of crap that was thrown in to look like ill. Fair enough. Is ill even a game? Is it coming out? If it's coming out, when is it coming out? If the developer has a channel, when is it coming out? If it's coming out like 2 years from now, then fuck it. Forget about it. When it's 6 months or less, I'll put it back on my brain and have interest. Until then, I'm just so far removed from the annoyances of, or I want to be so far removed from the annoyances of Hollywood and the video game industry that unless it's, pre-orders are up and it's coming out, we have a confirmed date, I just don't care. Yeah, put glitches in it to sell the damn game. I don't buy it. They put glitches in to sell the damn game. One game I love is the only one on PC. It's about aliens. They are here. You show up as a news reporter to a house and it looks good. Wait a minute. Is that a new game? They're here. Let me look that up. They're here. Alien abduction horror.
So fuck.
I might check that out. Here's someone playing it. I don't want to play too much of the video, but I could probably check that out. I don't want to hear any spoilers about it, but this one's like 25 minutes long. I'm hoping that's not the whole video game. Chat. Let me look. Dude in chat. See, I could dig some of this, because it's a bit different. You're looking at some UFO shit. Like, that's cool, but is it like a legit game of a couple hours, or is it just like a small little... Chewbacca is the name of the ill-developed channel. But is it coming out anytime soon or no? I mean, I don't need it to be. My whole thing is like, if it's not, then forget about it. I don't believe it's coming out. If it is, then I'm game. I'm ready for it. Marvel movies are ruining the cinema, to be honest. In a way. Aren't the feral ghouls in Fallout technically zombies? I mean... I don't want to get Stain going again, but I think when it comes to labels, I think I'll leave that to the fans and however they want to do it. If it comes to, well, that's tricky because Fallout's a little different because those in the ghouls are very much zombie-like in the appearance and functionality. However, they have the brain and the knowledge and the yada yada yada. And that alone is one of the biggest elements that takes away from being a zombie. Being a zombie is like, one core factor about what makes zombies cool, in my opinion, is the fact that soul, that person, that being is not there anymore. They have checked out. They're gone. They are kill, 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 and that's it. So I would say no for the ghoul, but that's just me. But I do see where it's like zombie-like, Yeah, I'm the same spot. So first try was 3 years ago. You have no idea. I'm done. Hype myself up. I'm definitely, at least I'm trying to. See, that's my thing. Like I can see something and be like, see this, I would be all over this just to put it out there. If by chance, enough people are like, this is it, and someone listens, they can make a game we love. But I'm done being like ultra hyped for some bullshit. It happens all the time, bro. Think about this. Just think about this. We have a game like The Last of Us, right? And I hate to keep bringing this up as an example, but The Last of Us and Days Gone, two games I solely bring up as an example of great zombie/zombie-like video games where, and it's funny because neither one of them are actual zombies. We do not have that great game that's classic Romero zombies. Like, how crazy is that? Where we still have people like, there's too much zombie stuff, but we have very little good zombie TV, very little good zombie movies every year. We go years without having a good zombie movie, and I mean like a good zombie movie. Then we have the video game aspect where the top two aren't even actual zombies. It's infected in a different way. Now, my argument though is, how are we in 2024? We can do all this incredible shit with technology. Even with the video games, you got those two video games where you could just recreate that. You could just recreate that and just do that again. And that'll be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep the story simple and that's it. It blows my fucking mind that we don't have, and who cares if they're copycats? It blows my fucking mind that we don't have copycats with classic zombies. I mean, we should have a dozen awesome, ready to rock and roll, fantastic zombie games we can put in PS5, Xbox, and PC right now. Not 2 or 3, but like, 15 at least by 2024. It is fucking insane that we don't have that. Anyway, I'll shut up, but the developer of Ill, called Team Clout, has a Patreon, and they're still updating it. It says 25 plus people are working on the game. Well, I wish them the best, but in my book, until their pre-orders are up and it's starting to come out, count me out. It's a demo part if you watch the prologue to it. Oh, that's only the demo is out? Super indie, not full-blown game. I think it'll be kind of a full game, sort of like maybe hour or two, not sure. Well, that might be a fun little, quick game to play. I'd probably check it out. Feral ghouls and Fallout, basically zombies. They have no humanity left. Regular ghouls still act like humans, but could turn feral. Yeah, that's right. They got those ferals that are totally gone. Those would be zombies. And then I guess the ghoul is like on the way, you know what I mean, to being zombies. So sure, you guys can count that. Who asked that question? Wave Wonder. Look up the video on recorded proof. Well, thank you very much for the $2. Why would I look up the video though? Not to be a stingy bitch though, but what's with the super like look it up, but why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I looking for? Is there something very specific? What am I looking at? Is it just super cool? Say that. It's super cool. There's nothing here. Unrecorded proof. Game. Yeah, nothing pops up. There's only one video that says new unrecorded gameplay proves the game is real proof. Is that what you're talking about? 42 seconds in. Let me see if is this the one you're talking about? I don't really want to keep pulling up videos, so if this isn't it, we might save it for another day because I'm about to end the stream here in a minute. But what are we looking at? Proof that it's real.
Game or real life footage where it shows him actually moving and shooting in real time in the game. So this kind of proves that it's not some animation or real life footage that we saw from the trailer. This is actually in-game footage, which is just crazy to think about, that we're at this level of realism where we can't...
How is that proof again? I'm missing this train of thought.
It shows him actually moving and shooting in real time in the game. So this kind of proves that it's not some animation.
So he's playing the game.
Which is what you're seeing here. What he's showing here is the Unreal Engine 5 level editor, where it shows him actually moving.
Okay, the level editor
in the game. So this kind of proves that it's not some animation.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I'll play the extra skeptical just because it doesn't really matter. But to be honest, if you wanted to fake something for hundreds of thousands of dollars or possibly millions of dollars, I mean, goddamn, it wouldn't be too hard to, like, you know, set up a screen and do some crazy shit, you know? But sure, it's a real game. That's fantastic. We'll play it in 5 years. I'm just so burned out of waiting for years. You know what I mean? So if it's real, bring it on. In 6 years, we can all play it together. It's a 42-second long video. I didn't see a 42-second long video. That video I just played was 2 minutes long. I'm not sure what you're talking about. No. I mean, Wave Wonder, you could just simply put it in chat. Why would I let it play? Like, just give me a little heads up of what you're getting at, though. I mean, if you're just getting at, like, that's very solid proof that it's a real game, I'll take your word for it. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm really just totally burned out on like, I just don't care, the speculation. Like, if it's real, we'll play it. When? In a year? Do you know? 2 years, 3 years? Like, I'm just so fried of waiting for good games. And is it going to come out? When will it come out? If it's fine, it's real and it'll come out when? 3 years? We'll play it then. I'm good. I'm good with that. I'll take your word for it. It's real. I almost half-heartedly say, like, oh, this kind of looks fake, because I don't fucking know. I'm seeing the thing for like a minute for the first time, and it does look so good. Kind of looks like someone did a fake video, but you know, it's just like a half-assed sideways comment. It's not like I'm laying all my bets down on it being fake. You know what I mean? I'll just take your word for it. It's real. We're all gonna play it someday in the future. Would you say you're oh, what? Bigger zombie fan or slasher fan? That's rough. You know, that is rough. Am I bigger zombie or slasher? Ooh. I would, man, slasher has a little slight more reliability, oddly enough, and variety in the slasher genre. Whereas currently, the zombie genre is not reliable. I mean, 1 out of every like 100 projects is just decent or okay. And it's very much samey, even when you do enjoy it. So that's a tough one. I would have to say I'm almost equal, but currently I might edge slightly into slasher, but as watching. But if you were to say, like, which one as a whole do you have like the absolute most interest in? What one appeals to you the most? the zombie genre probably. But if you're basing on like what we have out for content to consume, I'm probably leaning to slasher. It was just in another vid. Point is, the dev showed an edited footage. Even if it doesn't come out, we at least got more proof than the day before ever gave us. See, that's simple then. Okay, yep. So it's not a scam like the day before. I don't think it, not knocking you, but I just don't think any of that matters if we're not getting it or not. You get what I'm saying? It's weird. It's one of those things where it's like, hey guys, look at this picture, really cool movie. But is it ever going to come out? You know what I mean? The picture could be so cool, but is it ever going to come out? It may not. It's almost barely worth talking about. And that sucks because we should be building hype to these things that are like, holy shit, that's what fans want. And then normally we would build hype. But I think the video game industry has just shot itself and us both in the foot so many times and then gagged us and took us from behind repeatedly that a lot of fans are just done. You know what I mean? Done. I'll be excited when the pre-orders start rolling. I always say about technology, we end up getting game companies just stop caring just for the easy buck and make a killing with microtransactions. Yeah, it's amazing. When I was younger, I used to watch like Back to the Future, for example, and be like, man, like we're going to have some cool shit in the future. Not just like movie shit, but we're going to have like in real life cool shit. The stuff where like, imagine our movies. When I'm an old man, you know what I'm saying? Like our movies, our video games, like it's going to be amazing. We are now living in the future. Think about it. All of us now on Earth are living in the future. Now, it might be the future to the people in our past, sure. And we're living in the past of the people of our future. Sure, that sucks, because you would always want to live in the future just because that's, the future. But we are living in the future. If you take our history as a whole, we are actually living in the future of the people who came into America the first time, the people who were in the Wild West, the people who were in the Civil War, the people who were World War I, World War II, the people who were in this and that and this and that, like in the Prohibition, you name it. The people who dealt with outlaws and Bonnie and Clyde and blah, blah, blah. The people who wrote sci-fi stories in the 40s and the 50s. We are living in their future. We have computers and little gadgets in our hands. The shit we do is fucking incredible. I just installed a camera on my car, like a little dash cam, just because I want to make sure no asshole runs into me when I'm driving to work during rush hour. Like the shit we do is incredible. And when it comes to our entertainment, it fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so pitiful. The options that we have with entertainment in our future is ass. And it's unreal. Zombie genre was never about the zombies, but the human characters. Tons of movies and games. Forget that. I'm going to disagree, but okay. No, just playfully. And this is something we do hear a lot about. The human characters are definitely vital. And I've said that before. Like you really need to have, and for my argument though, is it's a balance. It's absolutely a balance between the zombies and the human characters. And when you see the studios start to go off balance, leaning too much into the zombies or too much into the humans, you see how rocky that ship can get on the seas of the entertainment ocean. But I will agree that studios definitely forget. Especially, there's so many, easy ways to just fuck that up where you get people who are just not true fans. They're just not passionate about telling zombie-like stories. Thoughts on zombies that speak like Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. I love Return of the Living Dead. Now, in a serious zombie show movie, I don't want them to speak. I think that takes away from them being a zombie. Like, I don't want a fucking zombie to talk. That's why Zombie is awesome, because he doesn't talk. That's why Zombie is awesome, because he doesn't think. He doesn't feel. He has no emotions. He has no fear, no regret, no remorse, no sympathy. Like, he doesn't plan. He doesn't strategize. He doesn't set traps. That's what makes a fucking zombie a zombie. So that's why I love them. But when it comes to something goofy, like Return of the Living Dead, which I love that movie, I'll have a little fun with it. But if you want me to pick like my ultimate favorite type of zombie stuff, no talking. Yeah, at all. GTA 2 is frustrating hell. She's gonna be delayed. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about GTA 6. That's so far removed from my thought. So it's going to come out in 2020 and it didn't run right until 2023. Yeah, Cyberpunk. That's wild. I'm hyped for Terrifier 3. I won't support a game with microtransactions, stat enhancing micros. See, here, I'm a little mixed on the microtransactions. Like, if you came out with an awesome game, like, let's say you did Days Gone 2, and you were like, hey, there's some extra crap that if you want to do it, it's there, and they're microtransactions, I'm down for it. Like, if I can pay to play Rick Grimes as, the Deacon character, I'll pay $10, to throw on a Rick Grimes skin. If you could do silly shit like that, I will support it. If the money can go to make everything about the process better and get it flowing, I'm down. But if you get a game and it's like everything you do relies on microtransactions, I won't support that at all. And I think that's the big difference and the big make or break when it comes to the microtransactions is when it gives you fun stuff that's like add-ons. That's great. When it's stuff where it's like, here's an awesome game. Oh, you want guns to do this, and this? Then you got to pay for all those guns. Oh, you want ammo? You got to pay for ammo. Even stupid shit. You want whatever the fuck it might be. I'm not with any of that. It's true, but what keeps us all good on us well were the characters and they were well balanced with zombies. That's why HBO sucks. Poor character work with no zombies. Yeah, HBO is shit. Statin it. I'm not sure how you meant that, but I hear you. I definitely hear you. All right, I'm gonna shut it down. Keep it simple. Well, your new PC, you can have the Walking Dead skins in Days Gone for free, thanks to mods. Yeah, I do want to play that mod where I can be Daryl. And there's a new mod called Dawn of the Dead, I think it is. No, there's something where it's like Dawn of the Dead. And it's a mod that makes the graphics just a little more punched up or something, or maybe a little more realistic. Look that up if you're interested. But there's only a few PC games I'm eager to play, and Days Gone is one of them. I want to replay it on PC, 60 frames a second, with that new mod, maybe even play as Daryl. I mean, that would be fucking cool. Cosmetics are fine. I'm cool with that. I just feel over the last 5 years or so, I've become so negative about entertainment in general for good reason, and that is the complete of the opposite of what the entertainment is for. Yeah, I feel you. I've been getting burned out as well. I would love slow-moving zombie game, but I think the reason we don't see them is because the general public think they are boring. What kind of gameplay loop would you envision with Romero-like zombies? Well, I'm not going to get into it now because I'm ending the stream, but I've absolutely covered this, and I will stand by the fact that, well, first off, it's a video game, so you're going to need tiers. It makes no sense to have a video game with one enemy type. So because it's a game, I think it would be great to incorporate different levels of the zombie. Like, for example, just to throw it out there with Days Gone, with not Days Gone, Doomsday Kingdom, my comic that I wrote that has zombies in it, which more stuff is coming out this summer. Hopefully I'm angling towards it. You get different levels and different stages of turning, into an infected. One is the stalker stage where they essentially hide in cold, damp, dark places and they're quiet and they'll go ahead and stalk you. And stalking is a very common thing in video games for an enemy type. That's one reason why I think it's smart to incorporate it. But you get faster moving. You get ones that might not think, but they have that animalistic, stalking kind of. You have regular zombies. And one way to do it in a fun way is by utilizing the environments. You have a horde of zombies. You're not punching through hundreds of zombies. So you have them coming at you. Now, some of them are going to be slow, sure, but zombies are coming from different areas as well. And then once you get inside, let's say like a house, it's that slow moving zombies coming through the window, breaking down boards. You're trying to move to reroute. And that is, I think, the genius of the gameplay strategy. It's not so much, here's zombies, let me mow them down. There's far too many for you to mow down. You don't have enough bullets. So the idea is to take your shots, make them count, get headshots, but relocate. You got to find your way to new areas, solve puzzles, maybe have a system where you can pull wood from walls and then, create little ladders or exits through a wall to another area, even utilizing planks and stuff like that from Last of Us. And then when you get to some of the zombie action, even though you have that slower element, you have it so condensed that it creates a more action-packed feel because you're just getting, through the window away from the horde that's now spilling out to that window. As you're, getting up and starting to redirect yourself, you got a couple zombies here, a couple zombies there. Every avenue, you're just like ducking and dodging these zombies. And at the same time, you're either doing melee and shooting. And I think if you get a gameplay that's slow and well balanced, how many times does it suck to play some video games where the enemy type almost feel like they're way too fast moving? So as you're just trying to turn, they're just snatching you up. And you go into this really janky video game moment where you're like a push and pull. Well, you can actually utilize that within the horde aspect of it to where they're close enough, you're interacting with them, but it's not making your gameplay stop to a screeching halt. It might be hard to put in the words, but I stand behind that. Would be fun as hell. I think they could absolutely do it. And then you would incorporate a few different zombie types just because it's a video game where you can have some that are a little more faster paced. But someone needs to try it for sure. And yeah, did you hear The Walking Dead won best trailer for The Ones Who Live? Why is that a category? Dumbest one I've seen. Yeah, I don't get that. Days Gone runs at 60 frames on PS5, but it's not stable. The PC port is really good, well optimized. I could crank everything to max on 3090. Stay away from The Last of Us, though. That shit is still broken. Yeah, I have no reason really to play Last of Us on PC. I might have said it like it's yada yada, but I mean like just having the upgraded monitor for the PS5, 60 frames, and be good. And then the PC games, Days Gone. Ghost of Tsushima is another one. I'm not even sure if I need to play it on PC, but Days Gone is my main one for the PC, and maybe a couple new games like Sons of the Forest. But we'll see how that runs. However, the reason I've played Days Gone with 60 frames on the PS5, but the reason I'm looking forward to redoing it on the PC is the fact that, like you just said, on the PS5, it's not 60 is the top. You know what I'm saying? So I want to play it where it is more reliable. 60, maybe slightly over. You know what I'm saying? It has that more reliable 60 and not bottoming out. So, and then the mods obviously on changing how it looks. I'm good. I'm good with that. That's why I never cared for Left 4 Dead or play for 5 minutes. You win the whole game, just mowing down zombies. Yeah, and that's the big thing for me is you can't make it to where you're literally just sitting there mowing them down. You need different aspects that have the puzzle element, the looting element. I mean, I think looting is incredible fun because looting leads into the environmental discovery. Like when you're in The Last of Us, again, for another example, you don't just go into a new area and you're like, oh, this is a new area. This looks amazing. Let me walk past it. No, you go into a new area and you're like, holy shit, look at this fucking place. I wonder what's in that building, that room, I wonder what loot I could get. What can I craft? What can I do this and this and this? So that's why it's truly a mix of all those. For me as a game player, that's what I find more enjoyable. So no, you wouldn't want to have it to where you're just mowing zombies down. That is fun, but for a scene, a moment, not the whole game. Just like, all right, I gotta shut this down because I gotta go. But just like in a violent nature, the gimmick is a great idea, but it should only work for chunks of the game, not the entire fucking thing, because it just got boring. don't have a game PC, but every version of Last of Us, I don't need another one. Yeah, and that's another thing. I got all the versions of Last of Us, you know. All right, guys. So I'm done after this. I'm tearing my computer down. Tomorrow I'm building my computer up. I gotta take my daughter to the doctor. She's not feeling good. She's got to get some medicine for a sore throat, and we got some running around to do. But then on Tuesday I'm going right back to work, and it's going to be a really busy week. I'm hoping to either this week or next week to take my certification for the EPA so I could work on HVAC hands-on more and deal with refrigerant. So things are moving forward, and you know, it might be a week or two, we'll see. But as soon as I get the new PC up and running, I would love to do some sort of celebration stream with something. You know, I don't care what it is. I mean, it could be something small, something big. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get going. So thank you very much for all the support, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. And give me your thoughts and opinions if you did see A Violent Nature or Godzilla -1, which I highly recommend. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. All right, guys, be safe, have a good night, and I'll see you next time.